3D printing is a technology space with rapid innovations and a constantly changing landscape. So it's always really interesting to me when I get to have a look at a new 3D printer that I haven't seen in detail before. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do with this one. It's a Zaxe Z3, Zaxe, a Turkish company, and this is their bigger single nozzle printer.
Out of the box, the printer has a sleek appearance, looking quite good. While the sides and top cover seem to be acrylic, the front doors are actual glass. First plus point here, the doors open more than 90 degrees, granting easy access to the insides. It feels wrong to call this a feature, but it's not a given on all printers. A lot of the external frame is actual metal, and the whole printer is really heavy. When unpacking this, I highly recommend doing it with 2 people. This gives it a very sturdy feel though, which is nice. As mentioned before, this printer is a single nozzle printer. This means that you can only print with one material at a time using breakaway supports. This is, of course, limiting to a degree, but there are still many applications where this is not a deal breaker, especially when considering the quite significant size of the print volume. At 400 by 300 by 350 millimeters, you have a lot of space for large models. You print on a PEI sheet that is available either smooth or textured depending on your preferences. The sheets are double-sided, so if one side ever gets damaged, you can flip it around and keep using it. The heating area below has pretty strong magnets to prevent lifting even when printing large ABS or PC parts. If you still experience issues, I recommend adding little clips around the outside. The heating elements are spaced evenly all across the surface, leading to a fairly fast and quite even heating of the built plate. The maximum temperature of the print bed is 110 degrees Celsius. There are 2 small screws in the back to serve as an alignment for the PEI sheet, letting you get it in the same place every time without any issues. The built plate is supported at 3 points, each with its own guide rail and lead screw. The tilt is automatically calibrated. This makes for a very reliable Z movement, no matter what weight you put on the platform or how big your part is. The hot end itself is an E3D V6 titanium hot end, allowing for very high throughput of material. The E3D standard allows for a wide variety of compatible nozzles to be put into this printer. The maximum temperature for the printhead is 300 degrees Celsius. The printer does not have a chamber heating system, but due to its design and insulation, the inside can reach up to 65 degrees Celsius passively. That's a comparatively high chamber temperature, allowing for warp-free prints with ABS and other difficult materials. A nice touch is the hot end cover being magnetic, giving you easy. When looking at the printhead from below, it is apparent that there are no cylindrical guide rails for the XY movement here, as is common on many other 3D printers. Instead, high-quality linear guide rails are used as the basis for a core XY architecture. This is a somewhat more complicated belt arrangement, but combined with a very rigid steel frame, it allows for fast and reliable movement, giving us great accuracy and precision, and, almost more importantly, repeatability. This is combined with a Klipper firmware, which has gained a lot of popularity lately and enables access to input shaping, or resonance compensation. That, in turn, mitigates common printing issues such as ringing and ghosting, especially when printing at higher speeds. To really make use of this combination, Zaxe have a custom-designed circuit board with a powerful power supply. I appreciate the shielding of the wires of the power supply as well. It shows an eye for quality. The design of this space allows for plenty of airflow to these components, keeping everything nice and cool. The user input happens using a large 7-inch color touch screen. The menus are intuitive and often include symbols or icons to illustrate your choice. Z calibration with mesh leveling is as easy as just starting the procedure and letting it happen. As long as you have connected your printer to a network, either Wi-Fi or LAN, you can use the touchscreen to access the extensive video library that provides step-by-step instructions for almost any difficulty you may experience, whether it's swapping a nozzle or more advanced maintenance tasks, including changing the main board and others. I really like this feature as the videos are well produced, easy to understand, and available right there on the printer itself. No need to look at the manual, no YouTube, no Googling, none of that is necessary. The printer comes not with one, but with two activated carbon and HEPA combo filters. These slot in using magnets, so once again are really easy to replace without using any tools. The spool holder on the back can be expanded or collapsed to fit different size spools. Additionally, the printer has an NFC reader below the spool holder, allowing it to recognize the Zaxe branded spool automatically when they're loaded. You can still use any third-party filament, then the auto recognition simply won't work. It's more of a gimmick, but nice to have for some people. I mentioned this is a single nozzle printer, but there is already a LAN port for a material station. This doesn't exist yet, but I guess there's something in the works at Zaxe to make more materials an option. As for slicing, the printer uses the so-called X desktop software, available for both Mac OS and Windows. It seems to be Cura-based, so it gives you full access to all of the slicing settings, enabling you to really fine-tune your print profiles. There's also something called xCloud for the phone and computer, but I haven't tinkered with that myself yet. It allows for remote monitoring and control of the printer. If you're interested, there's actually a sort of demo on their website where you can click on a phone and see what would happen with the various buttons. Even without using the xCloud software, you have the option of setting up email notifications from the printer to your email account. One other thing I like is how the colored LEDs change depending on the current printer status. Currently heating, LEDs are red. Print done, LEDs are green, and so on. So those were the major points I came up with that I wanted to tell you about.
That was a short overview of some of the features that this Zaxe Z3 printer brings with it. I hope you found this informative and I answered any questions that you might have had. If I did leave something out, or you just have another question that I didn't answer yet, please leave it in the comments below the video and I'll do my best to answer it as soon as possible. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and that I see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.